Thanks for staying with us. Now, work-life balance is an important aspect of a healthy work environment. Maintaining work-life balance helps reduce stress and help prevent burnout in the workplace. Chronic stress is one of the most common health issues in the workplace, and we can define a good work-life balance as meaningful daily achievement and enjoyment in work, family, friends, and self. So how many of us have this kind of balance? That's our question tonight. Please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. So I'm going to bring in Nkem in like a minute, but Ike, how balanced is your life? Just quickly.
Well, in fairness, I think I aim to achieve it because if I look at it, I think that work-life balance 50-50 is a myth. Because there's some days that you would give work 80, and give family 20. And some days you give family 90 and give work 10%. So, but I tend to want to keep everybody happy at different points. Just as you said, we have glass balls and we have the ones that bounce. For the things that bounce, because I believe even in family, there's some things that bounce. Okay. First day of school is important to me, but if I miss it, my kids know that I love them. You get. I try
Open
to
house.
Yes,
Visits.
I try to do that as much as I can. But if there's an important contract to sign, as long as I'm not consistently missing it, I hope that you understand with other things that I do to make up for it. Yes, so I tend to dedicate. In fact, my Saturday, if you see, we have diced and sliced it so that everybody will be happy. You get. But I think that all these people in the different spheres should know that at every time that I'm committed to them. I do enough for my employer to know that I can deliver and I'm committed. I do enough at home for my kids and my husband to know that I'm committed. Then other things, I do enough at ways.
Yes, you do.
For ways to know that I'm committed. And then other things that so anytime I'm giving you something, I'm giving you my best for you to have a little faith in me that I can be there.
How about you, Milola?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are not as stable and structured as employees. So you would have moments when being an entrepreneur gives you the chance to pace yourself. There are times when I just deliberately take the time to be with my kids, even though I should be at work because I run the business. But then I have to make sure that the business is ongoing. And there are times when I should be with my kids that I'm at work. We all are guilty of it. But one thing that is critical is we are naturally conditioned to balance our lives. Otherwise, we won't be alive. Whether you recognize, whether you realize it or not, there's an automation, there's a natural process to our psyche that would ensure, just like the way I say sleep is important to me. If I do not get enough sleep, I can't function. It's not even about being able to serve my kids or being able to serve my workers. Do you understand? So we naturally are wired to find a balance. The only thing is, do we find guilt in our path? This is where we need to be mindful with ensuring a work-life balance. But trust me, it can't always be 50-50.
Well, I want to disagree with you because I think that finding a balance is intentional. And because sometimes you can be swallowed up, one activity can actually swallow
I was coming to Milola.
Like, because I've seen people that have allowed work, because they've not gone on vacation for an entire year because they're afraid that once they leave, their importance is reduced or limited.
I've not gone on vacation.
So they're constantly.
It's deliberate. Yeah. That's what she's saying.
It has to be a deliberate action for you to know that here, if you have worked 350 days and people are not satisfied, there's nothing that the remaining 15 days will do for you.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right. Honestly speaking, because I think again, because I'm also an entrepreneur, I don't sleep. So I work around the clock, especially maybe if I have a project that I'm handling. My entire system is just wired to be active until that I deliver that project. And sometimes I think it's too much because I burn out. Like today now I've had a bad headache from morning up until now that I'm still talking to you people.
Thank God for makeup.
Thank God for makeup and for what's it called? Milola Casual. Alright, so Nkem Offonabo is a purpose-driven woman on a mission to help busy professionals and entrepreneurs achieve work-life harmony. That's what she calls it. Now, she's a graduate of psychology with a special executive management program, MBA from the Metropolitan School of Business and Management in the UK. She's a certified senior professional in human resource, and she's an award-winning influencer for social good and positive impact. And she's joined us live in studio to tell us how to balance our life so we don't burn out. Thank you so much, Nkem.
Thank you for coming.
I saw you just chuckling.
Thank you for having me.
You're dramatic like that.
See, what beautiful thing about our show is that while we're serving the audience, we always make sure that we bring guests that
we serve us too. Yes.
That is customer service balance.
you know, I mean, she just took it out of my mouth. Today, this one is not for you people. It's not for the audience watching. It's for us.
It's for you.
As in, like, my life is literally, I don't know when I'm driven by work, I don't know when to slow down. And I think it's not a healthy habit, you know, because, I mean, you would feel it in your body will tell you need to rest, but I just feel like, no, I need to do this work, right? Why do we always, I mean, have that feeling like if the work doesn't continue, something will happen and all of that? What gives us that anxiety like or whatever it is that makes us just go on that overdrive as people?
Okay, thank you. I heard all your experiences and all of that, and you're all correct. Like she said, work-life balance. I like to say it's work-life harmony, right? That's sense. Why I call myself the harmonizer. So I believe that you can't always have it 50-50. You can't have that equilibrium. The most important thing is to be deliberate. Find out what is important. Look at the critical areas of your life. Find out what is important and intentionally or deliberately. In fact, in my book, The Harmonized Life, the subtitle is Deliberate Practices for Winning in Life and Work. So that deliberation or intentionality
of your book
has to be there. So the question you asked, you said, why are we always on the move? And you find out that a lot of times it's all about external validation. External validation. We want to be seen as we are always doing something, always doing something. You know, that crave, that drive for always doing something. But you have to slow down to ask yourself, I am busy, but am I productive? So that's why I say I help busy professionals live a meaningful, your life has to be, first of all, meaningful, wholesome. So when you're talking about wholesomeness, you're looking at the important areas of your life and you're ensuring that you are investing in them. It might not be 50-50. So like you said, today I might be with my child, attend school functions with them. Tomorrow I might not be available because work calls, duty calls, I have to be there. Do you understand? So, but you ensure that you are investing in the important areas and then at the end of the day, ensure you're also being productive. So your investment has to be equilibrium to the result you get at the end of the day. So the most important thing is to define what success means to you, not what people define success to be.
Okay, so I'd like to ask this question, how to handle the guilt of, because especially I recall as a new mother, I was at work, but most of the time I'm thinking my nanny was new. Luckily for me, I had my mom around. But you have that constant nag that as a mother, are you doing enough? You know, are you giving enough? Are you being with your children enough? So that nag sometimes, you know, and it's not just about the children, also at work, are you doing enough? Do you earn what's the next promotion you get? So how do you talk to people to handle that guilt when they feel that they're doing too much of one thing and leaving something out?
Okay, so I would say that it's a natural thing for humans. We always want to be more, always want to do more. It's a natural thing. So even in your career, you will be in a particular role for a year or two and you are feeling, I think I need more. I need to earn more. I need a challenging job, right? So as a mother also, you always constantly feel the need to be present. You need to, or that need to be involved in everything. But what, like I said, is to define what success means to you. It's very, very important. So when you understand exactly what you are chasing, because we are constantly chasing something, but what is your why? It's important to find out what exactly
define your why. Why do you do what you do?
Why do you do what you do?
I connect with what you've said, and one of the things that helped me find my center and my balance, because like a number of us, for someone like me who is very, very driven, who believes that I don't have time, and I can have to do so much before time's up. Somehow I've set a clock on myself just to drive myself and put a year, a age bracket, like Milola, by the time you're 40, you should have this, you should have that. By the time you're 45, without much pressure, self-imposed pressure, I find myself burning out. I do so much work and I keep creating new businesses. It's just because I wanted to stretch so far. But then at the time I had to come and say, wait, you're going to run yourself out of business. You stretch so far, you stretch thin. One of the things that did it for me was going on the spiritual path. A bit different kind of conversation. It's not something you prescribe to people. It's something you find.
True.
And it is by seeking it that you find it. It's not something that I can give to you. If you're not seeking it, even if I talk to you about it, you're not going to connect with it
at all.
And that really did a good number on me in terms of, and it happened during COVID-19. When people were screaming and yelling, it was one of the best times of my life. The kind of things that I got exposed to, the thought processes and the way my mind became reconditioned and start to understand that there is enough in the universe. First of all, quit the scarcity mentality that drives us to want to gather so much.
Yes.
And because of fear of lack, we want to store away.
Exactly.
And that makes us to always feel like we don't have enough. We have to keep doing more. You have to keep pushing more. For the first time, I just chilled. I just pulled back and I realized that at the right time, every of my needs would be met. One thing that I did, which was my cheat mode, was to be able to convert a want to a need. And then it manifests. These are different
Very
paradigms.
critical. In fact, that's
So
another conversation.
Yeah.
That's
a different conversation.
Seriously.
Totally. It's totally different
So
from...
I totally agree with what she's saying. Even while I was seated there and you were talking about rest. Rest could be many things. Rest could be you sleeping. Rest could be you realizing that you are exhausted and there is need to just reclaim some time and get in tune with your core, who you are, and ask yourself, all the things that I'm pursuing, does it really, that's where meaning comes, does it really connect to who
What
I
does this
am?
have to do with
Exactly.
the purpose of my soul? That was my
Exactly.
question.
And that's where you start finding that peace, that harmony. And you will, that intentionality to pursue your goals will come in. And you're not going to pursue your goals like someone is chasing you anymore.
You take it in your stride.
Exactly.
So, but my question though would be, is there some level of psychology in creating this balance? Because if you hear what Milola is saying, you know, she has gone through a mental journey, a spiritual journey, where she's connecting with something a lot more deeper. So do you think this anxiety, like I asked in the beginning, it's coming from that place where you have not come to your being, your own, yourself, knowing who you are? So, you know, there's a way you will be so comfortable, just like some people, like, for instance, now, a Bill Gates, or Mark Zuckerberg, or let's use Elon Musk. They say he's heading towards the first trillionaire in the world. There are some things that he can never worry about. He can never worry about, somebody's about to shut down his whatever, you know, because he has just gotten to that level of understanding. And it's not so much of the wealth that he has. It's more of where his mind
mental clarity.
is. So where's the connection between work-life balance or work-life harmony, like you put it, and your mind, where it takes you to that space where you are truly, you know, in that harmony with yourself?
I love making reference to my book because when the first chapter talked about designing your work-life plan or vision, so when you're doing that, you look at the 12 critical areas of your life. And if time permits me, I'm going to mention those 12 critical areas of life. So you're talking about health, you're talking about family, home and family, you're talking about relationship or marriage, you're talking about your purpose, right? Friends, social network, your self-esteem, your spirituality, name it, your success and achievement, peace and contentment. When you look at all of these critical areas of your life, there's something that connects you with all of these things, and it's your spirituality. And spirituality is about you, first of all, God, you, and humanity. And so that's why the second chapter of my book talks about that connection between God, yourself, and humanity. So it's very, very important. When you are connecting to yourself, let's even leave God first, because God is a supreme being. But when you're connecting to yourself, you're talking about your body, your soul, and of course your spirit. And that's where the mind, of course, the soul is where the mind is, your personality, all those things, you need to be aware of them. So that's where psychology comes.
Yeah.
That's where psychology
You know
comes.
what? Let's go on a break. Drink some water. Thanks for staying with us. Now, if you're just tuned in, we're having an amazing chat with Nkem on work-life balance. Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Why do I feel like you're on it? All right, so, AK, you're going to say something.
Yes,
so.
I was going to bring us back to our topic, which is how this balance or imbalance affects businesses and career. So what is the impact on the person that doesn't have this? Whether you're tilting towards the work side or you're tilting towards the personal life. What's the impact? How does it impact performance?
Okay, I would like to say that no matter the efforts that every business puts in to improve performance, improve productivity or profitability, if your employees, that's the people, which is a core aspect of your organization, if they're not living truly optimized lives, all your efforts would definitely be in futility, right? Because these people, they're expected to bring their whole being, the wholesomeness of their whole being, which includes all these aspects of life that I talked about, to the workplace. There's no way you can come to work and then shut out all those areas and say that it's only work.
So those things that they say, leave your personal life at the door and come in. Well,
it's not possible. You are at work. You are thinking about your child. You are at work. The quarrel you had with your spouse last night is affecting your performance. You're not thinking straight.
Well, the perfume smelled on his dress.
Right? So
we are touching some critical parts of this conversation.
Seriously, so there's no way you can shut out all those important areas of your life.
Why though? Why? And wait, can I ask a question? Let me not look like you say whatever. Is this a woman thing? Is it a woman thing
where that struggle with work-life balance?
With emotional, so they're able to.
So I will say for women, because we have heightened emotions, ours is, but it's something that affects everyone.
Everybody, right? So both a man and a
just
woman can
because our hormones and everything, ours is heightened, the reaction and everything.
Yeah, we're more expressive in individuals, so we tend to put wear our emotions on our sleeves, and it's more evident than men. Men are able to
That's why we do better at work.
Continue.
So you can't take all those important areas of your life. Think about when you are sick and your employer expects you to come to work without taking care. So that's why we have incidents of presenteeism. People are present at work because you expect everyone to come to work, but they are not well, and there's no way they're going to be productive. There's no way. Whether it's the wealth, presenteeism. So whether it's wealth mentally or wealth physically, it's going to affect their productivity. So that's why as an employee, whether you're a line manager, you have to pay attention to people, not just physically, mentally.
So you are, sorry darling, you are a HR personnel, that's your profession.
Yes.
Right.
I'm also a life coach.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to ask,
okay,
how responsible are organizations with what you've just said? You know, how are they paying attention to this aspect of balance, ensuring that because I know some workspaces, for instance, they create rest areas. You know, if you go to the Google space, they have places where if you're tired, you just go take a nap.
Yes.
A nap area. Then some organizations have decided, let's create crutches, for mothers that are nursing mothers, so that they don't get to worry about. So they are qualified nannies handling their children while they concentrate on work. But how many organizations in Nigeria, right, are actually putting this as priority? in their, organizational structure and the drive for their company?
So when you go online and search for Great Place to Work, there's also a Great Place to Work award and all of that.
Yes.
So you have organizations that have been identified as great places to work. So these are the things that qualify you to be in that space, because your employees feel very well taken care of mentally, physically, and otherwise. And what are the things that great places of work do is that they prioritize employee wellness. So they bring in things like all you mentioned, ensure that health is being taken care of. So they provide health management solutions. Some people call it HMO, whatever name they call it. They provide that. They provide some fitness program. So I remember when I was still in paid employment, right? So usually we have, it's not something that happens all the time, but usually there's a time that, we just do it. We'll bring in fitness or wellness personnel that come in, we'll do exercise. Even before I left with the COVID, the whole thing, virtual work, we still did it virtually, right? Everyone will connect, like every Thursday, we'll have exercises and all of that, just to ensure that the critical areas of life are touched. Mm-hmm. Also, some organizations are beginning to embrace coaching, therapy, counseling. So these are all ways to help employees live optimized life. So when you have issues that it's not performance related, sometimes performance can even be as a result of some personal issues that you have that is affecting your performance. So when you realize that it's not something that threats will do, it's not something that putting an employee on PIP, that's performance improvement program, will do. It's something that you need to have a conversation with that employee, and you realize that intervention it's not a training intervention, it's a coaching intervention. So these are the things that great places of work has to start doing.
Okay.
To, have an optimized workplace. That's what I would call it.
Now this is very good. It appears that structured environments are putting measures in place to make their place of work a great place of work.
Definitely.
What advice would you give to entrepreneurs? Not every one of us has found a spiritual path.
Yes.
And even those of us that have woken up, we still find ourselves falling asleep because it's a consistent journey.
True.
Do you understand? So how do you encourage entrepreneurs who are feeling a lot of struggles? Currently, one of the things I do is to try to be intelligently ignorant. I try to take myself out of the situation of this country because I understand that, sincerely, if I internalize a lot of what is going on in this country, it becomes my reality. True. And I start to manifest my predominant thoughts. True. And because I do not want to self-sabotage, I deliberately shield away or prevent. It's unfortunate that because I have to bring what's in the news, sometimes I have to read the news, I deliberately avoid news. I deliberately avoid some information because they are not empowering. And there's a way it affects your emotional well-being and it scatters your forces. Because I know that our thoughts create things. So for the people like me who's found a bit of balance, even though sometimes I still fall off and I have to remind myself and relearn what I already knew, how do entrepreneurs who are constantly self-sabotaging themselves, feeling inadequate, constantly feeling like there's so much I could have done, they see other people appear to be thriving and they think that they are striving and they're trying to find a balance and harmonize their life, what kind of suggestion do you have for
So this suggestion is just for the entrepreneurs, not even around their business, right?
It has to do with their business. They're struggling with their business.
It has to be holistic.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay. So first of all, I will say that you lead by example. Like, you are the entrepreneur, you are the founder. Most of the time, most entrepreneurs are everything, right? You are everything. You are the CFO, you are the business, everything. Yes. Right? So you have to first of all find that harmony first with yourself. Then how do you now infuse it into your business? Because you work with people. Recently, I had a performance appraisal with my team, and I started by asking them to appraise me first, right? So I was getting the feedback and all of that. So one of the things that was very striking to me was, one of the metrics was empathy. And they said, yours is like almost 100%.
You have so much empathy.
Do you understand? But that doesn't mean the work is suffering. You need to find a balance. How to? Do you understand?
This is just touched. There's a particular eatery that I know of. They said the reason that business has been has stayed this long and is being sustained is because the woman, she's very harsh. You know, that because there's a mindset about employees in this country that if you are too lax with them, and what's the English I will use now?
Lax.
Yes, they would
take the piss.
Take advantage
Exactly.
and ruin your business, right?
That's why when she said
you have to be emotionally intelligent.
What
In fact,
that-
my staff even said, she said, I don't know how you do it. Like, you know how to switch from being a boss to being a sister to being a... I don't know how you do it.
So this is a thin line. You want to be seen as a good boss, you know, where they see you as an understanding boss and all of that. And at the same time, you want to assert your authority as a boss to make sure that the job is done.
Yeah.
Right? So most employees are not emotionally intelligent to understand that you are just trying to be empathetic. I'm a very empathetic person. But I have realized that empathy in this country, when it comes to work,
they take it to be
there's a lot of mediocrity in
Can
the
I
system.
contribute something?
Please go ahead.
I'm going to
Structure, yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
so
sorry, I just
ahead.
wanted to contribute to it, and then she comes in. I think that there's a difference between having empathy and putting real structures in place of KPI in mind, because some people either use harshness or empathy, and there is no performance measure. If we agree on, I can be very nice to you and fire you while smiling.
Yes.
Because we both understand.
Exactly.
It's not about harshness.
Yes.
It's not about
You
harshness.
didn't get the job done.
We will both agree that you will sell 10, from a fish seller, will sell 10 fishes by the end of the month. If you can't sell 10, we'll give you 2 other months to sell 10. And if you can't sell 10, we will say goodbye. Every month, you will get a report of your performance, and I will smile while telling you. I would even help you by giving you ways that you can sell more fish.
Let me tell you.
But at the end of the third month, you will be going peacefully without me being harshly, without being mean
Raising my
to you.
voice.
Let me tell you.
I mean, PK always says something. PK says that you say you want to fire somebody, right? That as the boss, if you go, you are fired! You are fired! You are fired because
You keep saying it.
you understand? But you have also exerted too much energy.
Of course.
What if you say, you're fired? You are still fired.
That's
But
where
you didn't-
emotional
you didn't
intelligence comes.
peacefully. You know, I get that part.
Let me add a bit. This is where temperament comes into play. What you just talked about has to do with our temperament and how we respond or react to situations. You find out that most entrepreneurs have choleric traits. And say, you don't need to agree with me, my
Yes,
darling.
I don't need to agree with you.
And let me tell you something.
I believe that
Choleric
behaviors
natural-
can be learned and
we are naturally, we have default mode and default setting that you can make conscious effort to adjust and adapt. But trust me, your natural response is who you are
Always, yes.
innately. And for me, when I'm upset, I'm afraid I don't smile. You would know when I'm mad that I'm mad. Every part of me vibrates. You know, for someone like you who has the temperament, because trust me, it explains why you would work in a structured organization, why you would function better as a follower than as a leader. The traits and the personality we have plays a significant role in how we respond and react to job environment. And that's how comes, when she mentioned empathy, I would love to feel like I'm very empathetic. But trust me, I struggle to appear that way. The only thing I just tell myself is, inside of my heart, I know that, I mean well for all now. But trust me, I struggle, and I had to tell myself, why do you have to yell? If you keep doing this, you lose your power, which I know. So what do I have to do? I have to put some measure in place, like a fine, like salary deductions, so that I pinch you without yelling. You see, it all works out
bring this as a topic.
Yeah, you want to bring it as a topic, I mean.
Well, it's still part of the conversation. It's an interesting conversation. So what I was trying to say is there's a whole lot that you have to do. But first of all, you as the entrepreneur, you need to find your balance. Then trying to infuse it into your business, you need to put a structure in place. Right? So before I started my business, like I had a strategy session with a business coach, and I identified what are the products, What are the process flow? What are the performance measures? Who are of course, the people profile? Who are the kind of people that I need in my team? How are they going to be measured, right? And during the onboarding session, everything was shared with them. So you understand what is expected of you, even to the extent of weekly reports, how it's supposed to be done. So you understand everything. So there was a business development officer that I had, and the first month, she didn't do anything. And of course, I told her. She was one that resigned herself. Do you understand? Because the measures are there. If you are not productive, you know that you are not productive. You will know you're not productive.
Please, I want to ask this question before we quickly, because I know we're running out of time. Does work-life balance affect finance in terms of personal finance and business? Does it show in your financials? How can you relate work-life balance and finance?
Because finance is a critical area of your life, it affects your balance or your imbalance. So when you don't have money, the things are, what is money? Money is an assist. Do you understand? So whatever it is that you're going to do with money and you don't have it, and you don't have the mindset to make that money, it's going to affect you. You won't be able to provide for your needs. You won't be able to pay your bills. And you'll be disrupted, right? So I always say that money blocks contributes a lot to our harmony or disharmony. And money blocks could be anything. It could be you not being able to earn more. It could be you not being able to manage the one you have. It could also be you not anything that has to do with money, really. So finance is very important. It's a critical area of our life.
Okay, so if you had something to say to anyone watching now, talking about work-life balance, what would that be? What would you recommend? How would you look at because see, Nigeria is stressful.
It is.
Let me just tell you the problem. See, you know you have an appointment for 2:00, right? Let me not even go to Nigeria. Nigeria is too far. Lagos is stressful, right? I mean, in Abuja, you see that they're a bit relaxed because of the environment. Because the environmental factors also affect work-life balance. It's not so much of even sometimes the things are not even in your hands, right? The factors that would create that balance for you sometimes they are not within your power.
A lot of times. So I always
so how do you now create that balance?
You have to. It has to start with you.
Really
Yeah, you have to start with you. What are the routines that you are creating? I was told this session starts at 8, but I got here before 7.
Yes.
If I had waited to leave my house by 7, I might get stuck in traffic, and that agitation will throw me off. But I got here early. In fact, I was in my car for like 20 minutes before I even came in to stay at the lounge and everything. So it starts with you. You need to find that internal harmony. Do you understand? Create routine. So when you wake up in the morning, what are the things that you do first of all to create that balance? Visualization, affirmation, meditation. You plan your day in your mind. Everything starts from in your mind.
Thank you.
Remove all those distractions or all those things that would disrupt your day.
What I hear you say very importantly is, if you're struggling, ask for help. You may need to engage a coach or a mentor or professionals in the area of securing, at least, first of all, inculcating the habit of structure. Because if you have a proper structure in your system internally, you will naturally manifest that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Today I learned a few things. I learned
Presenteeism.
Presenteeism.
Just like you have absenteeism.
Yes.
So people that are ill and they're always not available.
So I know the term is, but I've never given it a name. I know a lot of presenteeism, people suffering from presenteeism. But right now,
they want to show up. Because you have told them that they have to show up at work.
They have to
exactly.
show up.
They have to show up.
They have to show up.
Just like today now, I think
some people will tell you that my boss said if I'm ill, I have to come show that I'm ill before they will allow me.
Okay, before we go, I think I have a problem with people that they take advantage of the fact that because you have a lot of energy, they want to shove all the work to you. No, yeah. I'm not someone that shies away from work. And I think Dami is like that. I think all my ladies on the team are like that. We don't shy away from work. But I see that in some environments, because they know that you get the job done, they tend to load you with too much work. Because how do you balance that?
It was my experience, I won't lie to you, but you have to learn to say no, create boundaries. At some point when I was working, and of course work Monday to Friday, and sometimes the team would say, okay, you have to do this on a Saturday, you have to do this on Sunday, and I stood my ground. I said, I can't work Saturday and Sunday. Stretch me all you need to stretch me Mondays to Friday, but leave my Saturday and Sunday. I have personal things to do for my life. So you need to create boundary, then to say no sometimes when it's necessary.
They will threaten you
And learn to stop feeling important because you are doing plenty work. Because that's another thing. We do it to ourselves. We just feel like, because we're important, that's why they're giving.
Exactly.
So
if anything happens to you, you get replaced. You get replaced.
In fact, these days, they do not wait for the 1 minute to...
As you're doing the 1 minute, somebody has an important mail that they need to send because that's what they'll be pressing.
Exactly.
Thank you. I think we've had an amazing conversation. I'm just trying to check. Okay, we've had an amazing conversation. Thank you so much. We hope you learned a lot as we did. This show was not really for you people, it was for us.
And for all of us. Please take it.
It was for all of us. I'm just joking, But I think it's important that we strike that balance. Sometimes you think that without me, nothing would happen. Nala, you die, we move.
True.
Thank you so much, Nkem. I hope you had fun with us.
I did.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, Nkem and Lola. Thank you. All right, so before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram. It's at PlusTvAfrica. You see that I'm winding down. I want to go and sleep. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, we're planning the giveaway to say thank you to you for believing in the Ways brand. We did some last week, so keep watching and following the conversation. Do also follow us now. It's at PlusTvAfrica. Like, share, comment, and invite your family and friends to watch and follow the conversation. If you missed today's quote, here it is again. Work is a rubber ball. If you drop it will bounce back. The other 4 balls, family, health, friends, and integrity, are made of glass. If you drop it, one of these balls, it will be irrevocably scuffed, nicked, perhaps even shattered. So you have to be very, very careful how you handle and be very intentional about work life. Let me borrow her word. Harmony. All right, we'll see you guys on Monday as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.